Alright everyone, you're back for another video on Legend of Mushroom. In this one, I am gonna show you the build I'm currently working on. This is not a Play Monarch, this is not a warrior, this is a mage. Don't worry, I'm gonna start working on a pal class, but I need a lot of items such as enchants and stuff like that. So I'm working on that, and as soon as I will have everything in detail and I will need to practice a lot, then I will do another video talking about the pal class. But here, for now, I'm focusing on the mage class and especially the prophet class. And this is not a tanky build. This is a very offensive build and it works perfectly well in PvP, in all PvP content. You will see that in a moment, but right before, let me explain to you the build and why it is working today. In fact, since the last update, we had a few more things for the mages class. First of all, on the class awakening, now we have that seal, providing some more skill crit damage. This is not a lot and I tried that. This is still better to have some more skill damage and attack here than the skill crit damage, but hey, that's an extra 26% skill crit damage, and this is not, this is very useful, I mean. So this is the build, okay? You want to have a bit of HP, a bit of crit res, and a bit of defense, but the maximum of your income are going to be in the skill crit damage, kill damage, and global attack. This is where you want to put everything. And maybe income is not the right word though. You want to do the same here with your souls. You don't care about your defensive stats, or maybe I should remove like 2 levels on each one and put some more levels on my defensive stats. It's gonna be probably better to survive, because on long fights I'm also taking some damage because I can't one-shot everyone, but it's still already working pretty well, so maybe I'm gonna do that. But you are gonna see with that, okay? So level 72 for the skill crit damage here, got 150%. Then level 72 here too for 150% global attack. And finally on the next one, skill damage at 335%. You have almost the same damage increase with every one of these 3 souls, so just balance them. Okay, so this is what I was using here. So now let me show you the rest of the build. On the gear, you want to have a skill crit and stun on every single piece of gear, because your goal is to stun the target. With the prophet, every time you stun the target, you are reducing your cooldowns on skills. So this is one thing very important. And secondly, when you are using the fox pal here, you are increasing your damage on stun enemies, and this is very important because the damage increase is pretty nice, okay? So skill crit and stun everywhere. If you want to beat archer classes, you need more than 50% stun. This is not enough on my build. I am aiming for like 65 to 70%, and the way to achieve that is through the enchants here. I am currently working on that. So on the enchants, you want to have a skill damage, 2 sets, and then you can go for a crit resistance for your defense. On the rune number 4 here, you want to have skill damage as main stat. On the rune number 5, it doesn't matter. You can go for combo or skill damage res, or count. No, you don't have skill damage res here. It's on rune number 6, or counter damage res or basic attack even if you want. You don't really care. The goal is to have a lot of skill, crit damage, and stun on the substats here. It's not really relevant to have that here because your goal on Play Monarchs is to one-shot them with the pre-blitz directly at the start, so having some combo is not useful here. So maybe privilege is the counter damage increase for the tanky fights. This is gonna be better in my opinion, but I'm doing with what I have. Crit resistance on the rune number 6, very important, with some stun here. On the rune number 3, you don't care, you want to have the substats only, so skill crit damage and stun only. Same for the rune number 2, stun and skill crit damage, and on the rune number 1, same comment as well, skill crit and stun. If you can't afford on the HP the purple one, go with the red one. You don't care about your HP for that build, and same comment for the defense. Things that matter are the substats only, okay? So here, I was working on 1. I have a green potion and a red one. I am gonna use that, you know? I tried like 5 times that to reroll on the stun rate, but all the time it procs in the other things. So I wasted a lot of resources, but you know, I am just gonna keep doing that until I got the stun here. I'm trying to improve my stun, and this is the best way to do so. So finger crossed. And one more time, it failed. Oh, this is crazy. Maybe the 6th time? Okay, whatever. So I'm sticking with that for now. I have a lot of skill crit damage here and a bit of stun, so this is okay. So this is the way to improve your stun. So now let's jump on the talents. This is by far the easiest class to build, by the way, because you have like, if you check the items, the best mount to use is this one, the Cloud Drifter, that you can acquire for free. Okay, this is one of the only classes that you can use with the Cloud Drifter. This is the best mount. This is insane. So, and this is not the only thing. If you go on the back accessories, this one is coming from a Lucky Spinner, and this is one of the best ones for that class too, to improve your damage. It's increasing your skill damage every time you release a skill. This is very, very nice, but I'm using that. It's a bit better for a Prophet, so you have some more regen and more final skill damage. So in a long fight, it's gonna be better. So go back on the talents one more time. This is very, very nice to play that class early on in PvP, because first you'll have insane damage, and it's the most accessible one, because with the talents here, the first thing you want to do is to max out your attack everywhere, and on the sorcery, get the 20 on 20 here for the skill damage, for the skill crit damage, and on the other side for the active skill energy regen and the skill damage. And then try just to increase your attack everywhere. This one is very important, so you will have more attack during the run. Then on the Fury, it's not even important to take this one because you need to wait 45 seconds to get some more attack, so it's not very important to have this one. On the Archery, you don't really care about that. You want to increase your base attack speed. This is the only thing you need, so you will attack faster at the beginning, and with your stun you can land a stun directly on the first basic attack, and this is how you can pre-blitz today. And on the Tame Beast, you don't really care. So this is why I'm saying that this class is the most free-to-play one. Yeah, you know what I mean. Because you have only a few feathers to use it here, and then your build is gonna be set up. Okay, then it's just some extra. On the sorcery, as you can see, I went for the stun rate at the top. Oh, okay, this one is very important, the stun rate. And then you want to apply some resistances here for some skill damage and for the counter damage. And you want to have some ignore counter, some ignore combo if you can afford it. And you want to put some crit resistance, don't really need. You want to use the 1 here, and on the Tame Beast, the 1, 2, and then put everything, all the rest into defenses and resistances. So this is what I am doing at the moment for now with that. So then the hero cards, you have many things that you can use. I have been lucky to obtain that SSR, so it's going to release some blitz skill damage directly at the start and stun the target. It's not working for the pre-blitz though. The stun is going to occur a bit later, so it's not working. And it's ignoring the immunity. The damage here is not very, very nice. I wouldn't recommend to use it here, in fact. And I am just going to change that. The best one to use with that class is this one, definitely. Every 14 seconds after the start of the fight, the targets within the range, it takes some skill damage per second for 5 seconds. So this is the same amount of damage almost. This is an active skill, so then you want to use the Chrono Sprite. Releasing the main active skill stuns the targets for 0.5 seconds, so the main active skill is this one that you put at the top, and then you just use your SSR here, and this is what I'm doing generally. You can use Zeus if you have it, or you can use the Wizard if you have it, but unfortunately, if I show you my SSR, I don't have it yet. Okay, use both of them if you have both of them. Unfortunately, I don't have it, so I'm still trying to get it, but I can't be lucky everywhere. So then last things I'm going to talk about, the 3 sections. On the prayer statue, you want to have global attack only. This is the best thing you can have to improve your damage. Then I already talked about the rest. For the items, Cloud Drifter, you know about the back accessory, and for the artifact, this one, the new one, is by far the best one. Before, you had the Candelabrum, another great one. You have a 10% more attack as for this one, but with the new one, you will release some more damage during the run and lower the damage resistances of the target. And the defense, this one is an amazing one in comparison with this one, which is the second best one to use with that build. And the others after that are not great enough. Then for the avian, I finally got one with 4 affixes for my skill damage. I got burst impact, skill crit damage plus 32%, super boost another 32%, inert gas 48%. So I'm aiming at the moment for the purple ones because it's giving to me way more skill crit damage. I don't care about the maluses here than the yellow and the legendary one. And talent skill, the best one to increase your skill damage. So inert gas, multi-talented, and there is another one, I can't remember the name, but it's working perfectly well. And instead of burst impact, I would love to have infinite dream to increase the damage of my skills every time I'm using a skill and during 8 seconds. I don't know if it is better than the others though, but it looks pretty efficient. I don't know, things that I need to try. So now it's time to talk about the relics. Skill crit here, this is mandatory. Since you don't have the 100%, you need to increase your skill crit rate, okay? This one, so you will release more damage every time you are using a skill, so this is nice. This one to increase your attack, of course. Then here, you don't care. There is no single one that can fit your needs, because the skills you are going to use are not boosted by one of these necklaces. So you don't care, in fact. This is the only one giving to you some more damage with the basic attacks. You're not here to deal basic attacks damage during Blitz Assault, but yeah, whatever. And then I was using this one because it's increasing the damage of Betty Trace. I'm using Betty Trace, so this is a very good one, the best one to use here. And finally, this one to increase the damage coming from the cat, and the cat is releasing insane damage with the Prophet class or the Dark Lord. So this is by far the best one to use in here. And for the spore in the middle, I recommend to go for this one. I tried this one with the Dark Lord and it wasn't triggering the skill damage increase coming from the passive they changed. I don't know what to think about this one. I have more skill crit rate thanks to the blue one and more attack, more stuff like that, more damage on Betty Trace. The blue one is to me the best one to use in here. And now it's time to talk about the skills. They changed this one and now we have some final skill damage 20% here, and apparently it's working pretty well. And by the way, the higher the level of your skill, the more the damage it's gonna release. This is something that I didn't pay attention before. I know sometimes I don't know everything about the game, but someone told me about that in my last stream. I can't thank that guy enough, because now I started upgrading this one, the star array, and it's getting more damage. Very, very nice. So this one to increase your skill crit rate and skill crit damage over time during the fight, so in first position, because apparently the order does matter. So it's gonna boost the other damage coming from the other skills. Then the 100 slashes, the more the HP you have, the more the attack increase you will have, so the more the damage with the other skills. This is the second best one to use. Then you want to use the Meteor Fall to boost your final skill damage. The Betty Trace to deal a lot of damage. It's gonna proc on every single hit with the Pumpkin Avian, so this is gonna release a lot of damage. And finally the Blitz Assault, extra damage and damage immunity, very important. For your pals, attack speed increase. The more the attack speed, the more the chance you will have to stun the target with the first hit. If you have time to land the first hit on a Plume Monarch, this is very, very important. The 100 Sprite, so you can recover your cooldowns during the fight. This is very nice because when you are playing with a tanky versus a tanky player, you need to recover your cooldowns at least one time during the fight, and so the faster you can recover them, the faster you are gonna kill the target. Then you have more chance to stay alive. The cat, best one to deal some more damage with the mage class. Then this one to have a 20% more skill crit rate, and this one to increase the duration of the stun on the target and lower the damage resistance. 15%. It can be enhanced if you use the smoke bomb skill, but I don't recommend to do that. These skills are the best ones to use in here. So one more thing, and then I'm gonna show you the stats of my character. Apparently there is something that is working well with your pre-blitz. I'm talking about the design. I don't know what to think about that, but apparently when you are using like that artifact here, the hammer, just the design, or if you are using, if I remember correctly, this one, I don't know if there is another one, but apparently when you are using these, you have just a faster animation and it helps you to land the stun faster during the run. I don't know if it is true or not, but many players are talking about that. So if you have them, just use them. You will have maybe more chance to stun the target and pre-blitz the target in PvP. And there is now, it's time to show you my stats. So 50% stun, this is not enough. I should have around a 60 to 65% and even more. That would be better to land the pre-blitz. So for the rest, I have a 1500 crit resistance. This is important to have some when you are trying to tank the cheat amount, you will take less damage. Very important. Combo damage resistance, this is still cool to have some for the same reason, to tank the cheat amount. Then some counter damage resistance and basic attack damage res for the tanky players, and some skill damage resistance. Yeah, this is very low, but this is enough. Skill crit, I have 86% at the moment, which is pretty high. A 517% skill crit damage and 2700 skill damage. I can try to have a better than that for the skill damage and the skill crit damage in the future, and the stun, this is what I'm gonna be working on. And for the rest, everything into the attack here, I have close to 6,000 million. And the best way to increase your attack, skill damage and stuff like that is, let me remind you, to farm the scrolls. This is very, very important. First of all, in the crossover ranked match, in the shop here, I buy these daily when I can afford it, and one time a week I am buying the Awakening Crystal here, so I can convert the crystals into 20 scrolls per week. It's helping me a lot. And finally, through the parking wars, I'm gonna repeat that one more time. This is so important to use the mounts, providing to you some keys in dungeons and mainly some scrolls. And you have these mounts here. The Cloud Drifter can be acquired for free. It's giving to you one key, some souls, some pals and skills, I guess. No, just skills, and it's giving to you some awakening scrolls. You have the carpet, giving you almost the same. You can get it through a lucky spinner. Then you have this one. This is a paid one. Scrolls and keys, souls, the same rewards on this paid one too. And then you have these ones. A bit less good in my opinion, because you have only the scrolls. You don't care about the Yuku fruits and the other things. But you have some scrolls here, scrolls there, scrolls on the panda. You have scrolls on this one, but one more time, it's not as good as the Cloud Drifter and the first one I showed you. You have the Crocodile as well. You have this one that you can acquire for free through upgrading your mount. So you have a key and you have another scroll and souls. You have these ones that you can acquire one more time for free through the rush shop. You have some scrolls, souls, you have some seeds and keys, very nice one. The Blue Ox, you can acquire it through a lucky spinner, and you have the Blue Dragon, you have the Frog here giving another key, so these are the best mounts to use to park every day for the scrolls. Best way to improve your stats. Okay? So I covered the entire build, and now it's time for me to show you some real fights, right? So first of all, I want to go in the cross-server parking wars because I made a lot of fights and I was able to get a ton of debuffs on myself, and thanks to that I was able to beat a lot of players, okay? So if I show you some fights I did, let me check. This one, you have a newbie. He has a very, very tanky build. I had 10 debuffs, okay? 10 debuffs. This is a tanky martial sage with a lot of HP defense, resistances, and regen. Let's check the fight to see what happened. You are gonna see that this is very, very nice. First of all, that's a pre-blitz amount of damage. A pretty nice amount. So he's regenerating. I'm taking a few damage, but this is okay. And now I recovered my cooldown, and look at the damage he's gonna take. And in fact, he's taking all this damage for one reason. One of the skill provided by the Prophet class is absolutely insane to beat tanky players. I was almost able to beat that tanky build. This is insane. Let me just check. He's here. Look at the stats. 845 billion, 1,200 million defense. And if we check the rest, You have a 9% regeneration. You have a 3000 crit resistance. He has a lot of combo damage resistance and skill damage res. And he has 46% skill damage resistance. This is insane. And 47% damage resistance. This is one of the top player in the champion league. This is in the legendary champion. This is a very, very interesting build. So I was saying that thanks to the skill, the main skill of the Prophet class, you are not only reducing the skill damage resistance of the target by 20%, but you break directly all the enemy shields when you are using basic attacks during 10 seconds after casting that skill. So this is why you can deal a lot of damage with your skills, with everything after using that skill. This is insane. The best skill I've ever seen. Amazing class for that. And so it's working perfectly well. So if I go here in the crossover rank match, I'm gonna go in the peak rank and I'm gonna try versus Shiro. He just increased his tanky build. Look at that, 1000, almost 200 billion attack, 2000 million defense, 9.59% regen, very, very high amount. And if we check the rest, he increased his skill damage resistance to 59% almost, and he has 48% damage res. So if I go to practice, I don't know if I have the right build equipped though, I think yes. Okay, so just a few pre-blitz damage. Then he starts regenerating. And remember that this guy in front is currently the top 6 in the champion rank. And I feel like I have pretty good damage with that. Previously I was able to beat him, but he changed a bit his build, and now it's not working the same as before, but I can deal more damage with that build, with that Prophet, than I could with my Archer build. So this is very, very strong, and if I go in the crossover rank match, I'm gonna try to do some fights here. That's a Prophet. I just want to check. Okay, this is a tanky Prophet. I just want to see how it goes if I face one with that amount of power. He has like 10 million more power than me. So look at that. I was a pre-blitz. Very nice. I'm starting to deal some more damage. Betty Trace, amazing skill. Now I have my skill again. That was very, very close. If I had just a bit more tankiness, I would have beaten that player. This is insane. So then you have a Martial Sage, a tanky build as well. Pretty nice HP and defense. Same power as mine. Let's check how it goes. Pre-blitz, that was like 60% HP in one hit. And look at the Betty Trace. And there we go, he's already dead. 10 seconds. Not only this class releases insane damage, but it's saving you a lot of time in many fights, because you can kill the targets very fast. So you can just like accelerate the timer here, go on your crossover rank match, and just do your fights like that. And then look at that, it's going even faster. Just need to cast one more time my skills, the fight is over. 10 seconds. Very, very, very fast. We have, this is a Beastmaster. Oh yeah, but he has less power. Let's see how it goes. One shot. What? This is a Beastmaster going full aggressive with a lot of pal damage, I suppose, because he was using some yellow pals. This is the way to go, by the way, because they have more damage than the others, because they have more levels. And he was using the cheetah mount with that class. Very, very interesting. I might give it a try later, okay? So then, of course, you have some more, another Prophet here. Another tanky Prophet. Yeah, but less tanky than the others, so maybe it's gonna be a one-shot. Yes, that was a one-shot. Amazing. Time saving. This is insane. Another tanky build here. There we go. After that, I'm gonna try versus Plume Monarchs, because you have some pros and cons. And the Plume Monarchs are most of the time destroying me, because I just can't stun them on the first hit. So here we have one. Now this is a Martial Sage, okay? The icon is not the right one. So Plume Monarch 4000 attack, Normally, if he's using the cheat amount, if I can't pre-blitz, I am dead. That was a pre-blitz, and I was able to win. Very nice, very nice. So it worked on that guy. There is another one here, more attack, another Plea-Monarch, same power as mine. Let's attack him, and let's see what happens. When I can't pre-blitz, I still have some damage, but I am dead. Okay, so this is the truth about that build. So guys, that was all for the video. I hope that you enjoyed it. Let me know what you think about that in the comment below. Have a really nice day. See you on the next one. Take care. Bye bye.